You smoke more weed than I do now.
Wow.
I don't know what the hell, where the hell that happened, but
I do, huh?
we start doing a podcast.
Where did that come from?
Hi. I was out with my sister
Good
and
evening.
I was out with my sister and her husband this weekend, telling them how much of a pothead we've turned this guy into. So
this this is going in the
fault.
right direction. Yeah, I will take full blame. It's fine.
So when you get a pretty playmate who wants to come out and talk to weed about you, you're just going to start doing it. That's just the way it works.
Kind of do. I've had some good teachers. I mean, you know what I mean? I've had some good, I've been blessed.
You have,
compared to a lot of people in their introduction. So
you have,
will not complain.
You have smoked weed with Miss December 2010 and Willie Nelson's granddaughter. That's pretty good company.
Pretty good company.
So welcome back, Ashley, episode 5. I can't believe we're on 5 already.
No shit.
Yay!
And the people loved our high asses because number 4 got watched a lot.
Yes.
So
yes.
To anybody watching this one who hasn't seen 4, you might want to check it out.
Yeah.
And it might have been because I talked the least.
Didn't talk much.
It was definitely a giggle. Definitely a giggle.
Yeah.
Oh, I was that was the highest I've ever been ever. Allegedly from smoking.
Allegedly. There's no video proof of it. I made sure. I covered you, buddy. The video proof does not exist. It does of me though.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's right here. It's right here. I recorded it right here.
So this won't come out until the beginning of August, but we'll tell everybody we're recording on July 10th, and we're recording on July 10th because it's a special day, which you told me about or told us about.
Yeah.
I had no idea. So can you tell us what 710 is? We all know what 420 is.
We just as stoners keep making up all these holidays just for an excuse to smoke, right?
Yeah.
So I would say 710 is the token day for oil because 710 upside down spells oil. So
Brilliant.
Yes.
So there was probably a stoner laying under a sign that said oil and it was upside down or something. He's like, oh, 710.
And it was getting bigger and bigger at him or something.
Well, to 710, I'm going to indulge.
Cheers.
I'm just drinking wine tonight.
Clear the air.
Contact high.
So is that okay? Let me ask it. I mean, that's a thing, right? I mean, I think that's a thing, contact high, because I believe that was that was strong. Years ago, I was in a car and we were going up skiing, and everybody in the car was smoking but me and my buddy Bill. Won't say anymore. Said, "Hey, after every toke, blow it in Kevin's face." So he would turn around, he blew at my face, and the driver threw at the people next to me. I was napping in no time. So it's a thing.
Yep. It is a thing. Yes. I have a few stories myself. Probably the most memorable story was I was with my sister, given best influence ever. She was the one who introduced me to weed. She was the one who took me under her wing and was like, if you're going to try it with anybody, it's going to be me. Wow. My nephew was born and they had come to the hospital and my parents asked her to take me home. And so I jump in her car, her friend's car, because it was her and a couple of our friends. And they ended up hotboxing on the way home. And I didn't, but I was definitely in the car. And I remember we're like, we're going to go swimming. We're going to go swimming at the pool. And it's like, okay. So I'm putting my bathing suit on, and given there was a really large laundry pile of clothes in front of, the mirror closets, the closet doors that had the mirrors on it.
Oh, anyway,
yeah. I was putting my bathing suit on, and I was looking, and I went to go and look closer at myself, and I forgot the pile of clothes was there, and I fell into the mirror. And then when we got to the pool, I went swimming, and within 5 minutes, I was like, oh my God, I don't know how to swim. I forgot how to swim. No, that I definitely knew then that I was high. So I know those contact high.
Yeah.
And so that was the first experience ever, or no?
Yeah, actually, I think that was before I actually toked. The first time I actually like was in the actual circle, I didn't actually hit it either. My sister actually gave me a. I always get this mixed up, and I blame it on the hair. It's either a shotgun or a gunshot, like a shotgun. She took the hit and then she blew it in my mouth.
Sure. Okay. I think it's shotgunning.
I think
I
so.
think it is shotgunning because
Yeah.
gunshot doesn't sound correct. So yeah, shotgunning.
I got to know, is this the first time your parents are hearing these stories, or did your parents already know?
I feel like they were around when I've told these stories,
Okay.
but I mean, I think I was the only child to openly be like, "Hey, you know what I'm using?" And I would use it in the backyard or when I was living at their house. So I mean, they don't really. I give my mom CBD for her. She has 2 bionic knees, and I mean, she doesn't intake it. That's a lie. She does the tincture for sleep sometimes,
Okay.
but
Sure.
just CBD. So I mean, they're at this point, I'm old enough; they don't really care.
Oh,
So,
right.
yeah, yeah. But definitely
Maybe.
remember the days when I would come home and I'd run to my room and be like, "Spray, take a shower," because I was
So much
paranoid
work.
that they would be yelling at me.
Did you invest a lot in Visine?
I've been wearing contacts, so I actually couldn't use Visine. So I had like contact drops, but I guess it's kind of the same thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Get that redness out before you walk in. I got to go backward because I got to know. We talked about 710. The story I've heard about 420 is that basically it just started as 2 stoner kids that were like, "Oh, it's 420, let's," and for some reason it just spread. Do you know, is there more to it than that?
I was told the story of 420 was created because that's actually the dispatch call for marijuana possession. It's 420.
That makes a lot more sense.
Well, it does. Yeah.
Don't quote me on that. You might want to Google it, but I'm just saying that's what I was
Google
told.
that.
We have a producer.
Our producer will look that up.
Look it up.
What's up, producer?
We're gonna look it up as well. We're gonna fact check Fernando afterwards.
Yeah.
Just to check.
Fernando, do your job.
What I would like to do is, I would like to have people just tell the real story in the comments. I liked it. I put the reel today, and somebody commented, "Who are they?" When you were talking about the annual or average percentage of THC, and it was like you said something like they commonly. I'm like, and she's like, who are they? Growers
in general. There you go. Yes, but hey, if you have a 420 story of how you found out what 420 was, I'd love to hear it in the comments too. So
right,
yeah,
that would
absolutely,
because everybody probably has their own spin on it,
version of it, right?
Yeah,
and I'm sure there's going to be a few that said it was me, I invented it, I created it,
right. And also let me say that we love comments, and we'll take those kind of comments too. I'm not trying to. Any comment's a good comment.
Absolutely
helps the algorithm.
Well, we learn.
We do.
That's what it's all about, is learning, right? As we laugh.
So we actually got some questions this time, which we're thrilled about. Some of our loyal followers and listeners put some questions in. So
okay, good.
So I'm going to touch real quick on the 710. So it's not as big as 420, I'm assuming.
No, so 420 is the whole encompassing of cannabis in general.
Right.
710 is they're fixating it more towards oils. So tinctures, shatters, crumbles, all of the concentrates, all of the things that literally look like oil. Yeah, so it's really like, people say 710, dab it out. Like people are going to take a dab. They're going to be hitting more oil, cartridge oils.
Yeah.
That's their thing. That's what this day is for. So
yeah, and a little later in the evening.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because 420 isn't just a day; it's a time of day. So is 710 like
420 can be the timing could be any time, any day at 420.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
The 420 is
I mean, more gets made out of it on 420, but it's every day. Is 710 an everyday thing that?
Yeah.
I mean, I've not participated in it 7:10 in the morning or 7:10 at the
I never
evening.
thought of the morning.
No, I feel like this particular day or this particular eventful day for oil has been more recent. So
Okay.
I haven't really followed that. Plus, I'm not a huge dabber anymore. So it's like, it's
Sure.
just another day for an excuse to smoke, I guess.
And I was going to ask him, it seems like it's more recent or a newer event.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the first I had ever heard of it. So, and then
Yeah.
when we were today, I was scrolling through the feed and I saw Leafly had something about it on their page today. So it's like, okay,
So let's get around.
Yeah.
And hopefully as we go, we learn more.
So let's go to a fan question, a sent in question. And again, I should have written down the people's names. I'm sorry, I'm just going to do that.
We forget that every time. That's all right.
Yeah. Somebody. Oh, go ahead.
Wants to know what makes like the purple and orange strain.
Yeah.
Purple and orange color, get their color. Is that intentional or a reason in the growing?
So particularly, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't before I actually got into like weed and all that, I wasn't very versed on this topic. So obviously, being in the dispensary, seeing all the different flowers, now it's like, can you pick out the phenotype of this just by looking at it? And you can see all the different fibers and the different colors of the on the plant, like the actual nug in the picture. And I would definitely say that is based off of light cycles and temperature in which the flower grows, as well as their pH levels.
Okay.
So those are like the three main things that have those. I also feel like it's a part of their genetics. Like you're not, once you see like a orange fiber strain, that flower itself will probably never look any different than with the orange fibers.
Okay.
So
is one stronger than the other, or one higher pH level? Or
I wouldn't
THC
say
level?
no. I mean, but it's kind of like, how do I describe this? I mean, it's like every plant is different, and that's why they have different feelings, different names, different terpenes. They're all going to look different. Some may look a little like, you'll get 2 bags and somebody be like, I can't tell the difference. And then you get somebody who's like a huge connoisseur and they're like, oh yeah, no, you see all of that on there. That's this particular strain. So it really depends on the person who's smoking it, ingesting it, using it. And honestly, the way that it's grown, you can see it more vibrantly, how it's grown and what kind of, like I said, a light cycle, how much light it gets, what kind of environment it's grown in. So I wouldn't say that the particular colors give it different potencies. So
okay,
it's all about the grower.
Does color relate at all to indica versus sativa, or there's purple indica and orange indica, purple sativa, orange sativa?
I have only really noticed that more indica strains are actually darker in general. So like the Holy Grail strain is very dark. It's Forbidden Fruit is got like a purple tinge to it, and like the leaves themselves, when they're on the plant, they actually look darker. Okay. Whereas like sativas seem to be a little bit more orangey and a little bit more light, but again, that also is going to determine how it's grown. So like if it's outdoor, it might be a little lighter, but it still could be a darker color. So like it could range in the different shades of darker, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It does, yeah. So was there orange and purple in the 70s and 80s when they were growing it? Or is this a newer thing?
You're going to have to ask my dad about that. Okay. Honestly, I don't know. I want to say that they didn't have it down to a science like we do now. So right. I probably would say like whatever you can grow in your backyard or, in your field. Yeah. That's what you got.
Got any color in every color.
So I'm curious, when we talk about these colors, when you look at a plant, is it really visible to the naked eye to an average user? Or if you didn't know that you were supposed to be looking for this, would you really notice it? I mean, I've looked at nugs under like the microscope, like they do in the dispensaries, and then you really see it. But I don't know if just looking in the jar, I would have noticed, such slight differences in colors and stuff.
Yeah, I think that also comes with being a connoisseur. If you consume or if you're around it a lot and you're picking out your specific flowers, especially in a dispensary setting, you get that opportunity to look at it and like kind of study and understand what you're smoking or ingesting, however you're taking it. But it's it really is to the naked eye. It's kind of I don't want to call it like a Monet because with the closer you look at a flower bud, the prettier it gets, honestly. So, but it really does. It depends on the person that's using it.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Even to people who aren't users of marijuana, it is a cool thing to go into the dispensary and look through that microscope because they are very pretty plants. So, yeah. And when you see it under a microscope, you really see that. So
you do that.
Well, I use marijuana, so I am there to buy, but I'm just saying, even if I wasn't there to buy, it's like,
no, I guess I was thinking more. Yep. I understand that. And you can look at it under a microscope, but does that deter or determine which one you're going to buy? Do you look at like a couple?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm sure for some people it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, not so much because I'm so new to all of it. But it was just pretty to look at. So
have you ever looked at something under a microscope and said, "Oh, I don't want that," and then go to a different one? Oh, and okay.
Preferably for me, it's about the crystals on the outside of the plant. The stickier the plant, the better.
Yeah, you mentioned crystals a lot, so
yeah, a lot of what you feel and what you taste and all of that really comes from those little things on the outside. It's really, I mean, the plant, yes, but that's where most of its like goods are is in those little crystals. So having that, you being able to see, I remember being in the dispensary in California and we had, those little things you put like your dry goods in that like have like a pop top. So it's like a sealer like top.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So we had them set out like that, multiple strains on the counter. And at this point we didn't know anything. We didn't know any better. And we allowed them to not always, but some people would put their hands inside and they pick at it and they would like be like this. And they're like, okay, I want that strain because it's as sticky as it is. That means that you're going to get more of those goods. The keef, you've heard of keef. So keef is like when you grind it in a grinder and you have all of this dust. There's a little screen and they collects all this dust. The majority of that are those trichomes. That's the terpenes. That's what gives it the most flavor. So if you go to a dispensary, you can actually, some dispensaries offer a joint that's actually rolled in keef.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you've ever seen those. But so like you have it and then they like drip it with a little bit of like weed oil. So like you'll take like a shatter when it's hot and you'll roll it on the outside of the joint and then they'll roll it in this keef. It gives it that extra flavor, but it also has a huge punch to it because that's majority of its like goods. That's components of what you feel when you're high, and the flavors is all in that powder stuff. It's all in that keef.
So in a dispensary, going back to the crystals, is there I don't want to say this, like, oh, this is too little crystals, so we can't sell it, or or you gotta if somebody wants to buy it, you sell it to them, but anybody that knows anything would look at it and doesn't want it.
Right. So there's different in the old dispensary that I worked in California, there was different tiers of flower. So those that didn't have as much trichomes on them or as much terpenes on the outside, they would put that in the bottom tier.
Okay.
They'll stick at you high, but it's more like balling on a budget kind of feeling. Like you could literally get a gram for $5.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's
the quality of the flower
bargain bin
here, and yeah, that's how exactly the bargain bin. Yes.
Now I understand Snoop Dogg so much better when he talks about the good sticky icky.
That's true.
Hey.
That's true. That I never thought of that till you said it.
Well, you don't listen to a lot of gangster rap.
I don't.
You seem more of like a heavy metal guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. 80s. I love the 80s rock.
Yes.
70s, 80s.
Pat Benatar.
Pat Benatar. I do love Pat Benatar.
So
probably too much.
Another story for another episode.
Fucker's always trying to get me in trouble. All right, go ahead.
So speaking of terpenes, somebody did ask, how they work. And so when you say that the crystals, the sticky crystals on it, that those are the terpenes.
Mhm.
Okay. And
Yep.
you all what what else?
Trichol.
Okay, and those are all the same thing?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay. And so the terpene is what gives the plant extra oomph, extra flavor, extra.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
and most I think I've said this before. Others will debate why a specific strain is called sativa or a specific strain is called indica. Majority of those labels come strictly from those crystals, from those terpenes. They are not based solely off of a specific, like, a strain is named something mainly because of those terpenes. So if you have myrcene, which is a more relaxing strain, more relaxing terpene, also found in mango, which is why people say, hey, if you eat a mango after you smoke, you actually get more high. It's just because the terpenes are working together. So a lot of those things have their own natural terpene profiles. So with that, they don't just come up with, I mean, yeah, people make their own names about specific strains when they cross the strains together, but those original strains are based indica, sativa because of the terpenes, the crystals on the outside that have those. You have limonene, you have myrcene, you have pinene, which give you that different flavor, the different smells. If you ever smell a specific strain and it smells like cheese, or you have a specific strain and it literally smells like a rainforest, like that pinene smell, almost like, okay, not. I don't want to compare it to a cleaning product, but it always reminded me of Pine Sol.
Okay.
Yeah, myrcene is more of like that. I find that more in like the fruitier flavored strains for me. They're people will come into a dispensary and specifically ask for myrcene terpene high strains.
Okay.
Or sour diesel, all those diesel-y strains, they have that I want to say that's limonene. That's that limonene terpene that you have. There's a few other ones and I'm drawing a blank, sorry. But those specific terpenes are really what give you like that. Some people like that diesel-y flavor. Personally, I don't. It all hits. It's like having a specific wine with steak.
Right.
Kind of like the pairings. That's where people are like, hey, I want that strain as opposed to this strain. Or I don't want to feel like that because this particular terpene makes me feel like this, and that's not a good thing. So also those terpenes can give you specific ailment reliefs too. So like specific, I had a woman that would come in and her son was autistic and she only liked him to have myrcene.
Okay.
With a lot of CBG, which is another cannabinoid in the plant. So the cannabinoids do have some type of effect on you as well, but the terpenes is really that high volume of taste, smell, and certain effects that you get physically.
Okay.
When you're high. Yeah.
So the terpenes are doing a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
so what I
got out of this, you could smoke mango.
Well, maybe if you cored out the mango like an apple and smoked out of the mango, how would that use the mango for your? Yeah.
You should try that.
I mean, but I just like to suck on, like I like to, indulge in mango after I smoke. It's heaven.
So. But to be fair, you're in Hawaii and your mango probably tastes like heaven. By the time it gets to us in Wisconsin, where our weed smells like cheese, it probably doesn't taste as good as it does from Hawaii. So
that's one thing I did not expect to ever hear, was that weed smells like cheese. I
wanted to go Jeff Foxworthy on that. You're in Wisconsin when your weed smells like cheese. I mean, but
hey, you never know. Certain dispensaries in Wisconsin may only want the cheese smelling.
Yeah, sadly, we don't have dispensaries in our good state. Yes, because it's still illegal.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, you do cross the border, don't you?
We do. We go north. Yes, we go north to Higher Love. That's right, Higher
Love. Some love, the Higher Love.
We'll tag
Steve Winwood song.
It was
good song,
beautiful song.
back in the day.
Yeah.
All right. So I will not light up a mango tonight anytime soon by itself.
But Hemper has some really great mango flavored one hitters. I don't know if you've seen those. They have their little, they have these little one hitters that have a ceramic bowl, like a ceramic tip. That's where you put the flour in. But on the other side, you bite it like those, my cigarette smoking days are coming out. The Camel Crushes, where you would pop it and it would actually, it would change it to a menthol. But this is mango terpenes, and they would pop, and it actually tastes like mango when you inhale.
Yeah, I know that in the box we've gotten those things, but we've gotten like blueberry flavored.
Sure.
So
okay.
I don't think I've seen a mango one yet, but
there's mango, strawberry, regular, banana, grape, blueberry.
So how
you're right, grape too, I think we've gotten.
Right. I think you're right. Blueberry and grape is in one of these boxes because we don't know how to use them.
No, well, I know how to use them. I just haven't used them.
So you'd put them in a joint and pop it?
No, you put the flour into it.
The flour inside.
Yeah. And then the end of it is and then you inhale through it.
It sounds like we're gonna need to do a tutorial soon.
Apparently. Watch for that in an upcoming episode. I'll cut you out again. Don't worry about it.
But that might actually be the perfect amount for you. That might be the perfect amount for you. Not a whole bowl on a bong. You just take one little hit.
I'm pretty sure that was the perfect amount for him. I'm so glad he did it twice.
There's the devil whale right there.
It's not the whale's
he's
fault.
Free Willy. He got you free.
Oh, I let Willie free that night.
Do not blame the whale.
He's so cute. You can't blame him.
Yeah. Speaking of our good friends at Hemper, is this month a volcano box? Have you seen this?
I have not yet. No.
I've just seen people starting to post on their page, and it's like a volcano box. So.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy! One of our volcanoes on the Big Island actually started erupting again, so that's kind of cool.
Oh Jesus! What? Okay, cool let's diverge a little bit.
Cool or scary?
Yeah. So there's two active technically. One of them it was dormant for a long time and it went off. And then I want to say like half a year later, the other one went off. So, and then the first one went off again. So.
Oh. Now, is there any, do people have to evacuate or anything?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Do you have to?
No. Completely different island. So if you ever look at the island chain, the biggest island or the main island, well, it's hard to say that it's the main island, but it's the Big Island. They call it the Big Island or the island of Hawaii. That one has the two volcanoes on it. And then I'm on the smaller island to the left. It's called Oahu. That one is where I am. So I'm safe through a whole, good couple miles of ocean. We're safe.
I've noticed over episodes that I am not going to pronounce the name of any places you live because as a mainlander, we say them so incorrectly.
So bad.
Totally fine. Not a big deal.
Wahoo. That's not how she said it.
Not even close. So you're right. I'm done.
Yeah. I can't wait to tell people that's not.
And they're going to say, well, now say it.
I'm going to be like, nope. Nope.
Catch you in a lie. No.
I'll treat it much like other words I'm not allowed to say.
As long as we're not censored here. No, just kidding.
Right. We send our love to anybody that was disrupted by the volcanoes, and hopefully there's not too many houses were ruined and nobody was.
Not this time, but there has been. So
sure.
Yeah.
Phew.
Yeah. All right.
I'm excited to see the box though.
What's that?
I'm excited to see that box though.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. The volcano. That would be I am too. I haven't seen it. He saw it.
Well, I just saw videos of it on their page. So you got to follow Hemper. Great product. Anyway, other questions we got, and this one came from somebody you may or may not know. I'm just gonna say.
Okay.
Somebody talked about the best creative euphoric strain. Is there a strain that's good for, increasing your creativity and
increasing creativity? I mean, I've come across a few. I've wanted to start drawing, or my friends have started, they literally smoke it to paint or whatever. But One specific, I wouldn't say there's one specific. Definitely a sativa-based strain would be more up your alley for that type of vibe. Blue Dream is nice. Maui Wowie is fun, but I want to say it's probably not as mind altering in the creative side, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think we just had a guest on that talked about Blue Dream. If I remember right.
Yeah, Blue Dream is nice. Yeah, honestly, at the more social the strain, the better it is for your cognitive creativity, I would say.
Yeah, you said the what strain? The more soulful?
No, it's more now you got my stoner brain having to go back to what I said. I'm like a 10-second Tom right now. I can't think.
I get that. So got to ask your questions when they get in your head.
Yep. Yeah, I want to honestly, it's going to be more of like the social strains. So there's this one strain that we had at the dispensary. It was called Chocolope. It's more of a sativa strain, what we would consider a cup of coffee, but it can be very creative for some people. But it also has to work right with your brain, your actual brain chemistry. So sure. That's why we always say every strain is different for every person. So like you can say you don't ever get any paranoia off sour diesel, but yet I'm curled up in a corner like I have PTSD. So it's really a different dynamic for everybody.
Yeah, but, and I don't know what when I smoke something, I have no idea what strain is in any of these things, but I know I buy sativas, and if I'm ever struggling to write like a summary for the podcast or something, I always, the first thing I do is grab this and just get you just take a little baby hit, just get yourself loosened a little bit, and it starts to flow. It's just easier to write. So. Yeah. But
in some people, it can be really debilitating. They totally lose focus and they can't. So that has happened to me over the last couple of years where it's like I used to be able to like smoke a couple bowls, clean my whole house. Now I'll take a couple hits of my pen and I will just sit on the couch. And I'll just be like, I can't move. I don't care what kind of strain it is. I just can't move.
Yeah.
I hear you.
It's different. So yeah.
Yeah, I think too much for me, like sativa is like this. It's like great, and then boom.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you're like that, remember the game show on the guy on The Price is Right?
Yeah, the climbing the hiker.
That's like sativa to me. You don't want to go over because then you're
talking smoking too much.
Yes. Yeah.
Not it'll get you there regardless.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, if I overdo it with sativa, I will get where I'm no longer creative and energetic. I fall off a cliff. And
so allegedly 2 bong hits is too much.
I don't know. Anybody who's ever taken,
I would say, I'd say for you, a half a bong hit is perfect. Not even a full one.
I think for me, I think it's the same for me. So don't feel bad. Like that's not.
I don't feel bad at all.
We got to take baby steps.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, after we were done that Friday and I had to stand up, I was taking baby steps because I felt so heavy I could hardly walk. I was walking I felt like I was walking like the old, like you see the posters, the old ape men that are my arms were heavy, and I was like just yeah.
A lot of fun was had that night for sure.
Yes.
At my expense.
At everybody's expense.
I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
So okay, so kind of parallel to the best creative, I want to know, this one's personally for me, are there any aphrodisiac weeds? Is there anybody, like any strains that people say will get people horny?
I have a list for you.
Yes. Perfect. We'll take it.
And
am I allowed to?
Take notes.
It's fine. Take notes. Okay, and now you're allowed to give them to people without them knowing it. That was wrong. That was wrong.
No, you're not, Bill.
I was not going to say it.
I was going to say, you're not Bill Cosby, dude. You're not Bill Cosby. Shh, please do not put that in this video.
Jesus. The joke. It was a joke.
Fun.
So, depending on the person, green. Okay, do you remember I told you about that story about Thanksgiving and I smoked the specific strain and I cooked my whole Thanksgiving meal?
Yeah.
Green crack.
Green crack. Okay.
Green crack. Green crack is like the number. on the top of this particular list, again, is all debatable upon the person who A, writing the article, and B, who's actually smoking it. Green crack, it has that euphoric energy. But again, weed has that stimulating thing to it. Like there's like some type of natural chemical in it that just stimulates everything. The way you eat, everything tastes better. When you drink water, it's like you're drinking like a gallon of wine, whatever.
It's heaven, if I remember right.
It's heaven. It is heaven. I think Lil Wayne talked about Fiji water when he smoked weed. That was his thing. Oh. So with that, the aphrodisiac in green crack is just that energizing stimulation from it. You've got sour diesel and mimosa, which are both higher sativas. Wedding cake, train wreck, northern lights, those are all more indicas. So this is probably based off of a spectrum of what type of a smoker you are. If you get more affected by indicas or you get more affected by sativas. And then you have do-si-do. Do-si-do is what I would consider an indica-based hybrid. It probably would make the right person physically do a do-si-do. Like it has that energy to it, but at the same time, it's very relaxing. And it's kind of hard to like kind of grasp that, because it's like, how are you relaxed, but at the same time you want to like stand up and dance? Does that, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's more of like, again, it's going to happen. So if you can come across any of those strains or anything crossed with those in your dispensary, try them, see what happens.
We're crossing the border later in July, and I'll be looking for some of those at the dispensary. I'll check the menus before we head up and see if I can find any of those.
Yeah, so, definitely. And then if my professional opinion, ask them if when you go in that dispensary and you find them and they happen to be crossed with something, you see if they can give you like a percentage of how much it is crossed with. So like say if you get one that has a sour diesel or a diesel to it, that's probably the most popular to cross. Ask them how much actual sour diesel is. If it's like a 40-60 with the other strain, or a 60, 50-50, or a 80-20, whatever the case is, that'll help kind of gauge possibly which effects you're going to feel more from which flowers they crossed it with. Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah, it does. And I think, when you ask the question of like aphrodisiac, I think you asked, I personally, for me, I asked that because like you said, like food tastes better, water's better, sex is better. So you're like, which one, like sex being the creme de la creme of everything you want to be better. If the sex is great, obviously everything below it is going to be great too. All that food's going to be even better. So I'm just looking for the best one.
I also found out by reading a few things that the combination of so the combination of CBD and THC together for a man works better for male arousal.
All right.
So whether it's like you take a CBD gummy and then you smoke a little bit, or you take a 1-to-1 CBD THC like edible or a flower or whatever, they say that happens to work better with the male, the male chemistry of the male arousal.
Nice.
So.
But to be fair, it doesn't take much really good male arousal.
I mean,
most men
just saying.
I was just trying to think. I was like, what else can I say about this? Like, I remember having in the dispensary, there was an actual gummy that had like, it was like a sexualized like label and everything. People would come in there and buy them by the dozen. They sold out very quickly, but it was an edible. And when I read it, it was a equal parts CBD to THC. So I think that's also for females too, but I just read they literally highlighted the word male. So I was like, okay. Interesting. So
nice.
Well, good to know. That was my next question. Was there like any that were targeted that way, like advertised that way? So a few, but not a lot.
Well, they're advertised to draw the man, because the man is going to be the one to buy it, right?
Right.
I mean, but they do also make like oils that you can topically use for females. Sure. Yeah. So, I mean, I've seen a few. I've never physically tried any of them, but there was one. It's kind of funny. This brand called, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank on the name. Damn it. Anyway, it was in like a little glass bottle, and it had like a floral tone to it. And they said that it actually tastes a little bit more floral. You couldn't use it internally, but you could use it externally. I actually ended up using it like under my arms because it was a great sense of, instead of like, it's like a second deodorant kind of thing, but
Okay.
it definitely felt the tingling of it. So it's kind of cool.
Interesting. Nice.
So they had,
It absorbs through the skin.
Huh.
Yeah. Transdermal, but it doesn't get you high. So you still get the effects, but it's not like everything's like ooey gooey down there at the same time.
Oh, okay. So you feel it more direct in a spot. You're not going to feel it all
Yes.
over your body.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
I've got some ointment like that I bought from a dispensary around here. So I don't know how genuine it is because of the legal stuff, but
Right.
that I would use. And yes, I would put it on somewhere and it was direct right there. I don't want to say tingly, but you felt,
Sure.
felt some stuff.
Sometimes
feel.
in those particular topicals, they'll use something similar to like an icy hot feeling. So you get kind of like sensation, but it's not like a whoa. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
I think we've gone through all the
Good ones. Yeah.
the questions. So I know that we forgot last time to mention Last Prisoner Project, who we want to mention every time we do this. I don't know why we would have forgot last time, but
Hard to believe, but
so go check them out, please.
which is coming this
Yes.
week.
Yeah, we're talking to Stephanie now this week. So
Yeah. Woo!
yeah.
I'm so excited. I hope you enjoy her. She's great.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that one.
These are the kind of ones that, you really, I mean, when there's a little more to them, so
Yes.
definitely looking forward to this one. It'll be fun.
Yes.
So
Getting the word out.
I had a question for you in the dispensary area. Do you happen to have anything if you've seen anything in like a syringe at the store?
Ooh.
I personally haven't, no.
Okay. So I was trying to think of topics or different things that we could discuss if we didn't have a lot of questions for oil, number 710. And the one thing that came to my mind that's very educational, very enlightening, that a lot of people know but don't know about is RSO oil.
Okay.
Have we heard of RSO oil?
No, I don't know what that is.
So it's literally the letters RSO, which stand for Rick Simpson oil. Rick
Bart's
Simpson.
brother?
Sure, maybe. No, I don't know. He is a medical cannabis activist, and he actually had skin cancer, and he created this, what we now call RSO, which is a full plant extract oil in a consistency similar to like molasses, very dark brown greenish color. He would actually apply it topically to his skin cancer, and he went into remission.
Wow.
He practically cured himself of cancer, and now has what we know of as the recipe to create it to multiple places that now offer it to patients that are dealing with certain, ailments. It solely has been brought out for cancer treatments, but it does help other ailments like I wrote this down. Hold on. See, I took notes too. Look at me. I'm doing homework.
Very impressive. Which is this is a great topic. I mean, something that we could touch on that is so even more beneficial.
Yes. Yeah. My thing is making sure people who need the information know that it's out there.
Yeah.
So we have arthritis, asthma, depression, drug addiction, actually, high blood pressure, infections, including MRSA, inflammation, insomnia, and multiple sclerosis. So there are multiple things that this actually helps with, and it's really just a potent amount of THC in like the syringes that I have seen locally have only been 1 gram sizes. So there's like anywhere between 750 milligrams to 900 milligrams of THC in 1 gram syringe. So they're very potent amounts, but there's also, it's like I said, it's a full plant extract. So it also includes the plant's chlorophyll, which is what gives the plant the color green, the green color.
Okay.
So with that, you only need to take about a rice grain size of this on like, if you ingest it, obviously I would suggest like something sweet, peanut butter, because it also gets stuck to the teeth, but you can also apply it topically like he did. I've had patients where they actually put it in suppositories and try to treat their prostate cancer.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. Okay.
That makes sense.
So this oil for me, is probably the most beneficial oil I have seen out there that has been like, people will come in and buy them by the dozen, because eventually in most cancer treatments, they try to get them to increase their dosages pretty quickly because it brings oxygen to the blood cells, blood cells, and cancer can't live with that. So, again, obviously higher potencies, we always make sure people know, like, be careful. It lowers your blood pressure. It can cause nausea, it can cause vomiting, but it can also help if you take it properly with chemo, radiation, nausea and vomiting, as well as the lack of appetite from those. So, the munchies really get put into high gear because it's a higher potency.
Sure.
Yeah.
So when you're talking syringe, so people know, because questions going through my head. So I'm thinking needle, and is it to put into things, not into you're not putting it in your bloodstream. Let's start there. I'm assuming you're not ingesting it in your bloodstream.
Correct. There was no injections.
But with the skin, okay. But even I didn't, at one point, I didn't think maybe also if you had the skin cancer, like you're saying, that you would actually kind of inject it right into the area. But no, you're saying no.
No. So it's like a very tacky, tarish type consistency. So the syringe itself just makes it better for application, whether you're putting it, and it's easier to measure out. And the syringes I've seen, they all have like the measurable lines on it, so you know how much you're taking. Gotcha. But with the topical, obviously, it'd just be easier to just kind of dab it on instead of having to put it in like a piece of paper or wax paper like they do other concentrates, or like the little jars. It just, you don't lose any of the product at the same time. So like you can shoot the whole thing out and there's only like a drop left at the very end.
Sure.
Okay.
So you get the whole
no needle, kind of more like the Jello shot syringes where there's you could squeeze it onto your.
There are some dispensaries actually that have the very thick, larger ones, and they probably sell them 2, maybe 5 grams at a time, depending on their allowance. The rules of their state or county or whatever. But
I will definitely take a look when we're up there in a couple weeks, and we'll talk about it on the next one, whether we got them or not, because I'm curious now.
Well, I am too, and if they do, I might have you get me some.
Okay.
Yeah, it's shown very, very. Obviously, I am not a doctor. You would obviously want to talk to whatever doctor, or if they're dealing with cancer and you know of anybody, you want to bring it to their,
I was gonna say fuck doctors, but whatever.
I'm right there with you.
only Fauci, just Fauci.
Yeah, nobody can trust that guy anymore. No way.
All right,
we just got demonetized, so
it's okay. We don't.
That's
need
true.
That.
You said his name. I didn't.
I know.
Anyways, well, that's good. And again, we'll look it up on their website and see if they're.
I'll check it out.
If they've got it, and check it out because. So
thanks to the people that sent questions. We appreciate it. Hopefully, we'll get more.
Yes, thank you.
Keep sending them.
Keep them coming.
Like I said, there's no such thing as a dumb question. If there is, he'll ask it. So
got that part covered.
So
I'm totally cool with dumb questions. There's never a dumb question.
Right.
And I thank you for not making me feel like too dumb when I ask them, but I
hey, buddy.
He does.
I thought she meant injectable too. When she said syringe, I'm like, what? We're doing
exactly
pumping it straight into the bloodstream? Jesus Christ.
I should have saved the syringe that I had. I had one recently and I should have saved it so I could show you. I'm a visual person too, so having it like shown to me would have been completely more I don't know, absorbable for myself.
100%.
I'm not Tommy Lee. I'm not fucking
No. We don't do that in this industry. No.
No.
Good.
All right. Well, Thank you so much again, Ashley.
Once again, appreciate all your time.
Every time, anytime. I like this. I'm really enjoying this. So I hope that it's coming across well to the listeners as well.
I think so.
If episode 4 was any indication, we're on the upswing. So
yeah, we're gonna probably have to do one of those like once a month just to like keep them coming back.
I would agree. I think we talked about that a little on the last one. Like we need every 4 episodes or so, we need to mix one of these in. I think we talked about doing the edibles next time.
Guess what? I don't remember what we talked about.
Hey,
just going to tell you.
Hey, the episode's out. You could watch it.
I'm slowly going through it.
You probably should watch it.
I probably should watch it.
That's funny. Oh, we got to find him an edible. We got to get on this.
Yeah, I'll tell him it's 10. I'll scratch off the last 0.
Be careful. Okay, so there's a story at the mansion. Here it comes. And I think it was really funny. It brought it to my attention because the girl had actually hit me up on Instagram very recently and was like, I remember when we went and we got a chocolate bar and you gave me, I broke it evenly because we share. And it was a pretty strong one and she ate her entire piece. And she said she slept for like 48 hours. Like she was down. I mean, thankfully she didn't have any other side effects, but she was down. So it's like, we got to be careful with what we're dosing each other with, because I am not trying to be liable for you like puking on camera. Like that's not okay.
Yeah. He would love it, but you're right.
No, I won't. No, it's all fun and game. I would never give somebody more than they knew they were getting because it's just not. Yeah.
But I'll just say that. When I tell anybody, go ahead.
Sorry. You have to get a Polaroid camera and catch him in the act and put it on that wall behind you. That will be part of your decorations. Yes.
Yeah.
Whether he gets too drunk or he gets too high, either one of you, that would be perfect proof.
We could start putting Polaroids from the.
Oh gosh.
Yes.
I've been asked when I tell that story about us, smoking that Friday night. A lot of people say, "Oh, did you puke?" or ask me about puking.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I never felt that way I didn't feel that way at all. I never felt like I had to puke. So I don't know. Which is good.
Yeah. Some people are like that. Some people can't handle it and they will puke. But I would suggest that if you were to ever do what we call crossfading, which is smoking and drinking on the same night, smoke first. Do not smoke after.
Cool.
Yeah. Once you start drinking, I've learned that one the hard way. You definitely will yak if you drink and then you take a nice couple hits of a joint or something.
I didn't in Baraboo.
There you go.
We were drinking all night and we went back and afterwards, and then I allegedly took some hits. And
there's no video of that one.
There is no video of that one.
No.
But again, it's everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's different.
Everybody's different. Yep.
So someday
that should be our slogan. Everybody's different.
Everybody's different. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And we have that. And I have that to look forward to. My first puking of smoking too much.
Oh, I wouldn't want to look forward to that. No way.
No. Not pleasant.
I don't know. Maybe I was meant to be. That's why I don't puke. I don't know.
You're just a natural. Anyway.
Natural. Either way.
Cheers to you guys.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Cheers to you. Thank you again.
Yes. Let me know when the next one is. Good night.
Absolutely.
We'll figure it out. Have a good night.
Bye.
Good night.